Hello, good evening, and welcome to DTCC Season 11, Round 4. Hopefully, audio is working okay. Yes, it is. Good. Right. We're at Deep Forest tonight. A Gran Turismo track, slightly modified for GT7. And tonight we've got the 30-minute races, the 2x30-minute races. So we're going to crack on with qualifying, and then we'll get things going. So qualifying again will be slightly different because I love to change stuff. We're going to use the same format that we had for the Enduros last week at Watkins Glen. So we're going to have a 15-minute staggered qualifying session, which seemed to work really well last time. So we're going to do that again. So first out will be Superman, will be James, followed by Bazza. Alright. I think everyone's ready to go. If not, it's too late. Yeah, make sure everyone's in. Yes, they are. Right, let's get going then, we're qualifying. So the idea behind this, it gives the drivers a little bit lower down the order in the championship and or points per round, which is how we determine the order. Gives them a little bit more of a chance to get a rhythm going. Right, James should be out. Let's see if we can find him. There he is, his appropriately liveried Superman MX5. As you probably know by now if you're a regular watcher, and you all will be, because most of you will probably be watching it whilst you're driving or listening, that we have bonus points on offer for every round for every fresh livery that the drivers do. So there's probably about 4 or 5 of them who always change the livery every race, which is good to see. So James has gone for Superman. James is on soft, so usual rules apply. Pretty much standard across all the rounds now, that the drivers have to use one hard, one medium, one soft over the course of the night's racing. So in this case we've got 2 30-minute races, and they have to start on a different compound to the one that they qualify on. So you'll probably see most drivers qualifying on softs and then running either a medium or hard in the first race, all except for Chris Pengelly, Chris Rains and Alex Johnson, who all will be qualifying on mandatory tyres that are dictated based on their success in the previous round. Chris Pengelly won the night, so he has to qualify on hards, has no choice, and Chris R and Alex have to qualify on mediums. So they have their first race stint 1 tyres somewhat dictated to them. Right, here we go then. So James onto his first flyer. We've got just over 13 minutes to go. Baz is on track now as well, and just about now Silver Star should be making his way out. There he goes. Right, so let's follow then James on his first lap. We'll probably find out actually the drivers will be changing their tyres as well. They cannot change compound, but they can change to a fresh set of compound they're currently running on. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see some of these early runners changing their tyres for softer ones. Right, so James now is coming through probably the key corner on the track. This tight left-hander onto the back straight. We will be watching track limits. There's a few places on this track where the drivers can abuse them. And that's the exit of that turn, is one of them. Right, there's a 102.1 for the first split. Right, we're going to ignore it. The thing is, there's turns 11, 12 and 13 down that straight, we'll ignore it. This is turn 14. Tight hairpin, nicely done. Again, you cannot run too wide, you can use all the track plus a bit more as long as you keep 2 wheels on the curbs. Right, let's see what James does in for his first flyer. Very wide through there. Probably can tuck in a bit tighter. So he's going to start his qualifying campaign with a 1:38.9. Let's see how Baz is doing. He was next along. He's just coming through the tight and twisty infield section, which has got a lovely flow to it. That's a very nice livery, Baz. I like that. Baz is playing to my love of classic F1 liveries. That's a nice one. Right, let's see what he does on his first as we come across the timing split. Right, he's not purple. He's on soft, but he's not purple. Let's see. Silver Star is just going into turn 1. Mika's on her outlap. She's just come out. Mika should be now on 12 minutes. Yep. So just about to start should be Coy. He's out as well on his Valvoline. Right, let's see what Baz is doing. He's coming across the line now. Where is he going to slot in? And we have a little message from our sponsor.
Like and subscribe.
Right, what's Baz to start with? Oh, he goes quickest by 27 thousandths of a second on soft as well. Nice first lap. Is Superman on the purple? We can't tell. Silver Star, let's see what Silver Star's doing. He's about 10 seconds away from the third split. Gives the drivers a nice warm-up for this. Alright, he's purple by 0.2 of a second. Let's see if Mika's just started her lap. Koi's on an out lap. Alright, let's see what Silver Star can do. Into the final hairpin. Looked committed. Not using all the tracks. So James has just done a 38.8. So he's gone slightly quicker, but only by 27 thousandths. So he's actually, I think, got exactly the same time he has. He's got exactly the same time as Bazza. Because Bazza said it first. Bazza's currently on pole. Right, let's see what Jack can do. His first opening salvo. He slots into third. Look at that. He's a 10th behind James. Very close to the top. Right, let's see what Mika's doing. Bit wayward there on the Superman's near a split. Can he respond? The Bazza stealing pole away from him. In fact, Bazza looks like he's gone. No, he hasn't got quick up. He's coming down the main straight now, which is flat. It's got a couple of lovely curves in it, but it's flat in these cars. Can he improve? Let's watch. Over line now. Yes, he does. Takes 7 seconds off. Raises the bar to, or lowers the bar to a 38.1. Right, moves out. So Superman is currently not on a purple. Mika do right. Mika's coming across the line now. Let's see what Mika do in their first lap. Everyone's choosing to go quite wide through that last +1 kink. Straight line to the side. So Mika does a 41.0, which is about 3 seconds off the pace. But that's a good thing about this setup, is that you can play yourself in. Right, who else is on the lap? James improves, does a 38.382. Takes half a second off his quickest. Now just 0.2 behind Bazza. What is Silver Star going to do? Silver Star coming through the final couple of kinks now. He is going to do a 38.7, so the guys are getting quick up. He's just taking almost 0.3 off. Just about half a second or just over behind. Alright, what's Koi doing? Koi's coming down the main straight now, across the line for the first time. He is going to do a 38.9, but you can see that, so he's what, 0.8 off? But everyone seems to be improving on their second run by quite a lot as well. Alright, Dan. Missed last week, wasn't feeling great. Alex, unfortunately, isn't feeling great tonight either, but has joined anyway. Which is good to see. Right. I know 1.5 isn't purple, but that was pretty quick, I seem to remember. Let's see if anyone else. So Mika's about to cross the line for her second flyer. I expect an improvement on her 41.0. There we go, goes 6/10 quicker to a 40.4, 1.4 for Coy. Alright, he's coming across the line though. So Superman, where's Superman? He's coming across the line. So currently second. Is he improving? No, maybe his tyres are starting to go. Who's that coming across the line? So, well, Dan has just done. Dan's gone fastest. So Dan with his first flyer has done a 38.1. 300s quicker than Bazza, so a really good first lap from Dan. Let's see who else. Silver Star's crossing the line. He goes quick as well, so 38.394. So look how close he is at the top. Super close. Alright, let's see who haven't we seen yet. How's Wayne doing? Wayne's just about coming to the last hairpin. Mike's just come out. Pat is on the flyer. Let's see how Wayne's doing. Wayne is going to be the next across the line. Wayne's on mediums as well, so I think he might be the first of our medium runners. Wayne will be learning the track as he goes, which is as usual. Alright, he goes on a 39.3, so slots into approximately 6th. What's Pat up to? Pat's about to come for the first checkpoint. Dan's just come through. Bazza, what's Bazza? Oh, Bazza's not out there. Bazza's changed his tyres. Anyone else improve it? No, not yet. Superman is coming through. Is he going to head to the pits? Yes, he does. So he's decided roughly just under halfway through the session he's going to change his tyres. I would imagine Silver Star probably will do the same. Who's that coming out to pits? Click through. Oh, whoever that is, I'm going to miss him. That was Dan, did a 38.4, it's slightly slower. Baz is on a, oh, he's there. Baz is on the flyer. A bit wide through there. I can't imagine that's going to be a. Alright, Coy's changed tyres. Let's have a look then. Wayne's come up to second. So Pat's just improved. Pat's up to 7th, and Wayne is 5/10 up on his fastest. So Pat is now up to, what about 6th? Everyone, all bar Chris Pengelly is out. Although, in fact, if Chris Rains is out, he's gone out early. Yeah, I think he's gone out. Chris Rains has gone out. Oh no, he hasn't. For 5 minutes. Sorry, it's Dan. Has Dan gone out? Where's Dan? I think everyone's out. Yep, Dan's not out either. Good. So everyone's behaving themselves, which is good. Right. Let's see where we were. Where were we? We were watching Bazza, I think. Right, Wayne does a 39.1 on his mediums, so he's picking up the pace pretty quickly on his mediums. He's only a second off the fastest on medium, so I don't believe that Wayne's not done any practice, because that's pretty quick if he hasn't. Right, here comes Bazza. What can he do? Nothing yet. Mike slots into 3rd place with his first flyer, 38.2 from him, so it's really, really tight. Let's see who's coming up to the line. I'll flick through all the cars. And I'm going to miss whoever that is. That is... Right, so Dan has just gone fastest. He's done a 37.57 on these pretty warm tyres, actually. So Dan's getting some good pace out of these softs. How's Bazza doing? He was a bit squirrely the first time through. That looked better. Across the line, and Pat improves as well. Pat improves up to 3rd now. Look at this. Alright, let's see who's coming down the hill. Silver Star. Let's follow him, see what he's doing. I don't recognise. The only downside of the livery changes is you don't get to learn whose car is what. So I'm not sure who that is in front of him, but we'll soon find out if they improve. Alex has just done a 38.7. So he's got slotted it into 7th. Doing a good job despite being not feeling great. Here comes Coy. I'm not sure who that is in front of him. He's getting a nice tow wherever that is. Let's see what Coy can do. Alright, Coy bumps himself up to 3rd. Wayne's gone up to done a 38.8 now. 38, what was that? 38.6, sorry. So great on his mediums. Alright, let's see who's out. Go down, flick through. Mike now has done a, where's Mike? He's done a 38.1. Nice off, 6 tenths off. Right, Mika's now in 10th. Just done a 40.4 still. Right, let's have a look. Here comes Chris R. So I think he's second in the championship. I might have to check. Let's see where he does. Right, slots himself straight up to second place. 3 tenths off pole. Right, let's see what about... Who's that? So we've got Alex has got... Is that Jack right behind him? Yeah, he is. Right, let's have a look at Dan. Superstar he is in these cars. He does love an MX5. Let's have a look, see how Dan's doing on his first split. Right, he's down a little bit. Let's open that up. Tab. Checking. Everyone should be out now. Let's have a look at Littles. Let's see how he gets on his first stint. Chris is for all. That was a good time to go, Chris. Look, he's gone purple. Not by much though. 800's up. Let's see how he gets going. Problems with chat. Mama Sykes says no, it's all working now. Right, Chris is because Mike has leapt up to second. Bazza has also improved. Look at these times; they're so close. Like currently, Chris is down to fifth, only 3 tenths off, but he was purple through the through the second sector. Let's see if he can maintain it. Basically, just one hairpin. Can he get pole? Yes, he does by 800ths of a second from Logic Racing. So this is super close. Right, let's see how Little's GPR Championship. Well, our leader in terms of points per race score. He's got his hazards on, so I'm telling him to turn his hazards off. Right, Pat improves. We're 37.9. These lap times are getting. So this is why he's won only lap. Chris on the hards is 6th. Right, that's interesting. So the hards definitely have hampered him a little bit here. Let's see what Alex can do. He's coming across the line, so he only gets 2 laps. Or maybe 3. He improves up to 7th on his mediums, right behind Chris. Is anyone else on the lap? Let's have a look. Coy is on the lap. Decided not to change his tyres. So Chris R has got pole on mediums. That's a super lap. Right, doesn't improve. Anyone else? Who's this? This is Dan. Dan's in 12th at the moment. This lap's got to count. And it does. He goes up to 8th on his soft. So he's 4 tenths off. Yeah, Pat's saying half a second top 8. Actually, it's more than that, Pat. It's top 10. That's absolutely staggering. Look at this. So the top 12, aside from Mika, top 12 are covered by 9 tenths of a second. That is absolutely insane. Right, let's take a couple of pictures of this in case I need to redo the grid. I didn't talk about the safety car line, so if anyone's listening, Pat or Coy, I know you do, can you re-emphasise, if we get a safety car, the safety car line is the second sector break point between second and third sectors. Right. So, let's recap here. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen such a tight grid. So, Chris R, I think on his mediums, hopefully with these mediums, he's on pole with 37.486. Second is Dan, 37.57, so less than a tenth off pole. Third is Mike, just under 3 tenths, 37.756. Then you've got 2 thousandths behind him is Bazza. And then a tenth behind him is Jack. Then Chris on his hards, I mean, it's a stunning lap. He's only 4 tenths off pole on hards, but that puts him only 6th. Alex on his mediums, feeling ill, but still managed to put it 7th on his medium. So again, another great lap from him as well. Then less than half a second back is Dan, so he's less than half a second off pole and he's in 8th. Then Wayne, who's also less than half a second on pole, he's on 9th. Incredible. And Pat is also less than half a second off pole and he's 10th. And then we've got Coy 11th, James in 12th and Mika in 13th. Right. Let's make sure everyone does their tyres. I don't know who Sarah DK was. Lucky they've left. Alright, let's get everyone ready. Alright, let's just make sure all the settings are correct. Bit late now, rolling the start. Good. Right, this should be interesting because the fuel could be tight. I think if you want to zero stop this race, obviously the strategy, as we saw from Daytona, is pretty much if you want to stand a good chance of winning, zero stop one race, one stop the second race. So we'll see how that shakes out. So I think if you want to zero stop, you're going to have to be a little bit cute on fuel, but it is doable. But the other thing the driver's got to include in their strategy is I think the pit stop time loss here is pretty short. It's nothing as draconian as Daytona. Right, let's get going for our first race of the night. Given how close that was in qualifying, this should be good. Chris Hart, I think, overachieved. Certainly getting pole against the soft runners. And he gets the advantage of a rolling start as well. So Chris has decided to go on softs. Nice little flash there for Mike. Thank you for raising your pop-ups. We do love a car with pop-up headlights. Right, Bumblebee then will lead us away. First sector's tight and twisty. Chris takes us away. Right, so it's quite a long run down to the first corner. You can see they're all in a line trying to get slipstream off each other. Chris Hara's on his soft side, which gives him the best opportunity. Into the first corner we go. Looks okay. Looks like Jack's already starting to have a sneak of the inside of Little's GP. Both on mediums, but everyone seems to have got away okay. Let's quickly flick through the field. It's a bit jumpy on this one. I think everyone's through. Yes, they are. Everyone's through. Mika's a little bit off the back, but so everyone's through. Right, here we go then. So Chris Hart, he's on his softs. And what is Dan? Dan is also on medium, so Chris is already should have an advantage. Look, they did flick through the tunnel. That looks cool. Right, Mike's got away in first. So everyone looks like they've started pretty much line the stern. So go through into the long back straight. Let's see if I can time these. Whoa, got some carnage going on here. We've got some battling. It looks like Coy, Wayne, Dan, all in a mix. I think they've also had a bit of a kerfuffle as they've gone through. So look at this. So Big Dan's got a bit of a gap, and now we've got a gaggle of 5 cars heading down this long back straight in a line as we go towards the hairpin. Wayne's leading. Who's going to brake first? Look at this, we've got all 5. They're all starting to jockey for positions. They come into the braking. Coy goes really low on the brakes, but I think he got stopped against spin sideways. Are they all going to get through? It looks like they do. Pink car, which I can't recognise, gets a bit of track limits, but as they come screaming down the hill. I can't watch the start. Look at the front of the field. Look at this. Right, so who's leading this lot? Right, Little's GP. Of course, Little GP is in there. So he must have had a drama. I don't know if he had an assist or a drama, but he's in the middle of all this craziness. And they're banging wheels of Wayne as they go into the hairpin for the first time. Little GP's on his mediums. There's Wayne with Coy next to him. Everyone seems to have got through unscathed. Superman has had a bit of a drama by the looks of it. And Pat's also had a bit of lost out in his squabble as well. Let's quickly see what's going on at the front. Chris Hart's got a bit of a lead. Dan's got Mike right behind him. Baz is not far behind him, followed by Alex and Big Dan. And then you've got this huge squabble going on. Oh no! Oh, what's that? That looks like, I think that could be, let's try and replay that, see who's involved. Is there more than 3 cars involved in that? It's hard to tell from here. Coy tries to move down the inside of Wayne. Yeah, that's a safety car. That's a safety car. That's a safety car. Let's go safety car. That was a big shunt of mole. Right, so what this will mean is Chris has to slow it down. Everyone has to line up till he gets to the first. Right, the pits are open, so people can do what they like. This is the advantage of the safety car. We've got Wayne who's off the back, well off the back. So drivers can stop. The pit lane is open. Chris will now lead us slowly through. Pat, Coy, whoever's on chat, remind Chris that it's the second split is the go line. So they got to cruise around now, so it's going to be quite a slow lap. Chris can speed up a bit, Pat or Coy, tell him he can go a little bit quicker, just keep everyone together. He can take it up to 60 if he wants to. But there's going to be a lot of... No one's going in the pits, which is interesting. I'm intrigued to see that no one's decided to take the opportunity pit. Now, of course, what this does do, it means fuel shouldn't be so much of a problem now. Also, what it does do, anyone who owns softs should have an advantage. Right, put a chat. Just to remind them. Right, so got a couple more corners to go, and then it's up to Chris when he wants to go. He's got all the time from the second safety car line to the start finish line to decide when to nail it. Everyone's up together, so that's worked beautifully this time. Right, shall we recap the positions then as we come to the end of the safety car? It's up to then Chris. Chris is leading, Dan's in second, Mike's in third, Alex is up to fourth, Baz is fifth, Dan's sixth, Little's GP is seventh, Coy is eighth, Meek is up to ninth, James is 10th, Pat is 11th, Jack's 12th, Wayne's 13th. Right, let's see what Chris wants to do. If anyone's on chat and you're listening to this broadcast, hopefully Chris knows he can go anytime he likes. When is he going to nail it? This is the first real proper safety car we've had that's worked. I'm intrigued to see when Chris is going to go. Is he going to nail it? I think he is. He's gone. He has. Right, here we go then. He's decided to nail it straight out of the hairpin. He's got a good job as well. 6/10 up, but the toe's strong. Now they do say safety cars breed safety cars, so we'll see what happens here. Dan's on hards. He's going to be ruining this safety car because he's lost tyre temp. Chris Pengelly, who I think had a bit of a scruffy first couple of laps, is now in his slipstream. Let's see what goes on. Chris nailed that start. Chris Pengelly goes for a move. Got it done. Look at that. Guess he's stopped. I think he's going to be okay because Dan's on hards and can't recover. So a great move up to sixth from Chris Pengelly. So hey, Chris is really happy about this safety car. Let's put him way back into the mix, I think. Right, Chris leads us away. Dan's in second, Mike in third, Alex fourth. We filter through. There's Coy. Then we've got a squabble going on. Make sure there's no more safety cars, peoples. Mika's in 9th, James is in 10th, Pat's in 11th, so we're as we were. Jack obviously didn't do too well that first lap, and Wayne's back on the back of the pack, which is good. Right, into the tight left-hander. Let's get the course map up. Let's get the course map up. Well done, Chris, you handled that safety car beautifully. Right, along the back straight into the hairpin we go. Any more squabbles going on? Looks like the first 3 or 4. But here we go, so Bazza, we've got Bazza, Little's GP, Chris is attacking Bazza. Bazza's on the hards as well, so he could be a sitting duck as we're going to go 3 abreast into the hairpin. Can Chris make up another place? I think he's going to get him. Bazza's not making it easy, but he's on the hards. And then we've got Big Dan, who also has done well out of that safety car. Pat is battling with Mika. Just in front of them is Koi, who's escaped. And then we've got now Big Dan, he's attacking Bazo, his WCC teammate. Big Dan's on hards, but the hards, as we know, come into their own in this on this car. Nothing doing there because the Baz is also on his hards and Little's GP on his mediums. Alex is escaping on his hards as well, so he has a good start of the race. Alright, let's see what else is going on behind. That was the crazy gang behind us. Pat is up to 9th, Jack's 10th, Mika's down to 11th, so Mika's obviously been demoted. He's got Wayne all over the back of the MX5. Mika on the hards, finding it hard to get some tyre temp in those tyres. Superman James is also on the hards. Wayne is on the hards, so all those are the back in the hards, whereas Chris, he's just done a 37.7. 2 seconds up now, escaping on those softs. Dan's doing a nice job on the mediums. He's got a bit of a gap to Mike now, he's out of the toe. And then we've got Alex, who's on hards, has got Chris Pengelly right behind him. And then we've got Bazza and Dan battling, and then we've got Silver Star up to 9th, who's doing alright. Are we going to see a move from Pat and Coy as we go into the hairpin? There's Silver Star, let's go back here. Here comes James, thinks about a move, but no. And then Wayne's probably looking around the back as well, thinking I could have a bit of action there, but doesn't quite. Right, Mike's in 3rd, Alex is in 4th, and Chris is 5th, 5.2 off the lead. And back we go. Bazza's got Dan so close I can't even see him. Is he going to make a move into the first corner? I think he is. He's lined him up nicely, getting some heat on those hards. Bazza gives him room, which is great to see. And then Coy, it looks like he's having a think about, let's go on board with Coy. He's having a think about Bazza. Got a bit of a gap behind us, so he doesn't have to be looking backwards, just looking forwards. We go through this tight section of 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a lovely sequence once you get the flow of it. Right behind the JPS. He's looking tight, is he? Looking close. Let's just see what else is going on. Silver Star's got a bit of a gap to Pat. James has got past Mika. He's got Wayne for company. Alright, 2.5 up now. This will be interesting to see what it is. The softs are probably going to start to wilt a little bit. Chris did another fastest lap of 37.3, which is almost a second quicker than Dan's. So Little's GP has got past Alex. Little's GP has done a 37.8, which is only half a second off the fastest. Oh, a bit of track limits there from the Pink Panther. Just keeping an eye on that. He was well over the curbs there. We'll keep us a notch to Chris. Just upright, knees down. Luckily, Chris, I haven't got a bit of paper. Yes, I have. I'm going to write these down as I notice them. Right. So he's in 4th. Keep an eye on his lap times. Just on another 37.8. Right. So Alex is in 5th. Dan's up to 6th now. Done a 38.6. So he's pretty competitive on those tyres. Coy and Bazza are battling. So Coy has got past Bazza now. Let's quickly have a catch that. Let's try and catch that replay. There he goes, just nice and simple down the inside. Very nice, he's got the tyre advantage. So, alright, Bazza's now down to 8th. And then we've got this battle here between Pat and Jack. Jack's attacking the PD Shuffle Pat. Drivers probably find it quite annoying if they're driving in car or in VR that the headlights keep going on and off. Which in this car means the pop-ups keep coming up. Right, doesn't look like Jack's gonna have a go just yet, but he might be lining it up. Meanwhile, I think we've got a scrap here. Looks like Chris is right on the tail of Mike. Chris pulls out, he's got the, is Mike going to fight it? Chris is on the outside, Mike's on the inside. Nicely done by Chris though. Just about keeps it in play there, both on mediums. How's the fuel looking? So we're 13 minutes in and the fuel's not even half. Mike anyway. Chris has used a bit more. I don't think though they're going to need to fuel save. Right, Little's GP with the aid of a bit of tow, I would imagine, has got fastest lap on his medium, starting to wake up a bit now. He's only 4 seconds off the lead as well, so I think that safety car really helped him. How's Chris doing? Chris is gonna, obviously this is gonna be the race where he's gonna definitely stop, because those medium softs will not go to the end. He's still setting PBs though, so they're still hanging on. He's 3.1 up on Dan, who's done a good return back after missing last week. There comes Chris. Mike's hanging in on 4th. Coy, Alex is in 5th, so his car looks very similar. Big Dan is in 6th, he's got Coy. So Big Dan's on his hards, and then we've got a scrap going on here. Who's this between Bazza and Pat? So Pat has found a way past Bazza. And then you've got Jack right behind as well. Let's go on board with Bazza. Jack snuck past us. Let's see if I can just quickly catch that. Oh yeah, didn't go back far enough, but just snuck past. Right. So Bazza's now down to 10th. But I think, is that Jack? So Jack's going to make a move on Pat. He's going to get a 2 for 1 and 1 straight. It looks like it is. Scored pretty heavily in the last round. Had a very good race. He's up to 8th now on his mediums. Pat right behind him though. Pat might retaliate on this one, you know. He's got a good tow. Pulls out the tow. We're going to try it. He thinks better of it. Goes back in again. Here he's got the overlap. He's on hards though, so this is going to be brave. There is Jack. So there he goes. Past he goes. Can he get it stopped though? He can. Jack's going to try and muscle his way through with a little bit of a bump. Should really back out of that. He won't, but he should. That was a little bit muscular. Let's see if Pat can fight him off as we go through the left, right. So Jack's back in front. Pat hasn't given up though. He might be on hards, but he's not giving up. We've got Bazza. Bazza's dropped off the back a little bit. Standards pretty high in this. Alright, so we've missed up front. Little's GP is now up 2 seconds, only 3.2 off the leader, and I would imagine he's going all the way. So that'll be a net lead for Chris. I think he's won every single round he's been in so far, or every single race. So Chris is now, fuel's looking good, so that safety car definitely helped everyone for their fuel. I can't imagine he's going to get those tyres to go all the way though. And here he comes. Right, let's see how short. Oh no, I thought he was coming in. He's decided to do another lap. So Chris is chasing him. Logic. Dan is on the mediums as well. So they're on the same tyre strategy. So is Mike. Everyone deciding to do mediums, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Alex is doing a good job on his hards. So it'd be interesting to see what Alex does. Will he stop and put softs on? Which I imagine, or will he save the soft medium combo for the next race? Interesting. Right, Coy and Dan having a great battle by the looks of it. Let's go on board with Dan. Coy's really flinging that car around. Coy's on the mediums. Dan is on the hard, so in theory Coy's got the tyre advantage, but the mediums are going to start wearing a little bit. Look at Dan steering. This is very unlike Dan. I haven't seen the opposite lock. It's Coy who's doing the sliding. Dan, who is 5th in the championship, he's missed a round. So he's probably actually net 2nd or 3rd. Trying to chase down Alex, who is probably just ahead of him. Alex is currently 3rd. Pat, who's having a stellar start, he's 4th in the championship. He's in 8th, being chased down by Jack, which I think is probably the closest battle at the moment. He's in the tow, so Pat obviously got the better of Jack, which Pat's on his hards. Up come the pop-ups. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go down the inside. Pat's going to try and squeeze him. They come into the hairpin. Jack's on the inside though. Pat does the right thing, goes out wide, tries to get a nice run on it, and does so. Let's go on board with Pat as we come down the hill. Jack's got the run. But Pat is in the slipstream. Let's go from the roll bar of the Lucozade Mazda. Looking at that renowned monster livery of Pat's, which is another glorious one. Here goes Pat. Is he going to make a move as we go into the first corner again? He's driving a cracking side-by-side battle. Pat does it. They both go wide though, and Jack gets back again. Pat gives us a little slide in frustration. So, cracking race between these two. Right, let's see what's going on up front. Chris is still going on those softs. He's done a 38.0, so they haven't dropped off a huge amount. He's surely not going to try and get those to the end. It would make no sense because he's got to use all three compounds, so he will be coming in. He's probably just going to stick on the hards. Depends on which compound's the favourite compound. I think Daytona, the hards are the best, but Chris is doing 37.2s. Those mediums. Chris R is doing 38.0, so 3/4 of a second between the pair of them. Logic is hanging in there on his mediums. He's not that far behind. He's only 4.6 behind. Is Chris going to come in the pits? He might do one more lap. No, here he comes. He's in, right. So we'll monitor to see how long his stop is. This will just be a pure tyre change. He's easily got enough fuel to get to the end. So Chris P takes over, and that is a net lead because he will not be stopping. Let's see where Chris comes out. Is anyone else going to stop? Alex is now catching Mike. These guys won't be stopping. Now, if I were them, I would do something different to Mr. Pengelly up front. If Chris is going to zero stop this one, I might be tempted to go and put the softs on and then run the hards for the next race. Do an offset strategy. So Mike has got Alex, who's not feeling great, but he's keeping him honest. And behind that, we've got a cracking battle as well between Coy and Big Dan. Joined at the hip, these two. Interesting shifting going on there, right in the middle of the corner. Trying to get a bit of rotation, but with this guy, you don't want to go too mad because he's not scared to rotate it. Oh, his tyres seem. I wonder if his tyres are starting to go a bit. It looks like he's struggling for grip a bit there. Coy's mediums are starting to wear a bit as well. Let's see what's going on behind here. We got a battle here. This is so Wayne and Pat. Has Pat been in? Pat has been in. So Pat has put softs on. So he's doing a 10-minute stint on softs. Where has Mr. Oh, here we go. That's a good time to get back. So it looks like Coy is still got his boot full of Big Dan. I'll flick back in a minute to see where Chris R. Chris R's come out in 8th. So he has lost about 25 seconds-ish in a stop. Okay, that's interesting. So he's quite slow, the stops. So that's sensible from Chris, I think, because he will now do, he's on the hard, so he'll have a zero stop on mediums for the next race. Right, Chris R, Chris P. Chris P, as Joshua calls him. He's leading 5 seconds up on Dan. Dan's having a nice race in second there. He's very nice British racing green. Do like that. Mike's in third on his mediums, his NCP. He's got Coy, so we've got Alex starting to catch. Actually, said no, he's not catching him. Alex dropped off by half a second that lap. Coy and Big Dan are having a cracker though. Look at these two. And Jack is slowly catching them behind. What's Jack on? Jack's on mediums. Can Big Dan get past Coy? Well positioned now. He's got a great run coming out of turn 10. I think we're not even going to wait. Look at that as we drive past the Valvoline MX5. Now what this does mean though is Coy is now going to get the tow from Dan. If he's sensible, he won't attack. But he does. What do I know? Oh, I like it. Very good though. What he did there was interesting. We'll ask him afterwards whether that was deliberate, but I'm pretty certain he got to the apex and stopped. which prevented Dan from getting back on the power and getting the overlap. Now what that does mean is, of course, Dan has now got the toe down the main straight. If I was Coy, I would have actually stayed behind in the hairpin and done what Dan's about to do now. But as we go into the first corner, Dan is on the inside. Can he complete the overtake? He does, but is he going to run wide? Gets a bit sideways. Coy has got the inside line now into turn 2, which is the left-hander. Nicely done. Look at this. Fantastic racing between these two. So Dan's probably thinking, oh, I thought I had that done. Coy's just got back past me again. So, Coy, what do I know? Your tactics work beautifully there. We've still got Dan, and then Jack is loving this, although he has dropped off a bit. He was 2.2 behind, he's now nearly 3. How's Chris Rd doing? So Chris is on his hards, down in 8th, but he's the only one who's... sorry, Pat stopped as well, so Chris is the only one of the sort of top 3, I would say leading runners, but Pat's the leading runner, who's 4th in the championship, so only Pat and Chris have stopped, which means they have a 0 stop for the next race. Right, what have we got going on here? We've got Mika, his hards have woken up. Oh, that was Pat getting sideways out of turn 9. Mika is now on the back of no, sorry, it's... Who's that? Oh, we've got several cars the same here, so no, Mika's on the back of James. Baz is in front, a bit low in 9th. We've got then James. So yeah, it was difficult to look at multiple red cars from the back. Oh, Mika goes really wide. I think that's going to give Pat a chance to get past. He got totally sideways, but manages to pull the move. So Mika's got to do it all over again. Wayne has obviously stopped. He's on fresh softs, but unfortunately has gone off. So Wayne is doing his usual, using the first race as a practice. And then we'll no doubt come alive for the second race. 6th in the championship at the moment, so he's doing really well. Right, Chris leading, lap 15. How long have we got to go? Just under 5 minutes to go, which is probably 3 laps. Dan's in 2nd. So Suffolk boys. 1 and 2. Alex is 3rd. He's still got Mike behind him though. Now this is interesting. Alex's hards are not looking all that much better than Mike's mediums. Keep an eye on that battle. Right, so these guys are still battling and Dan's just got past again. So here we go, round 16. Can Coy do the same again, or is Dan going to be wise to him this time? Let's go from the back of the Dan's Mazda. Right, Coy's going to try and do a switch. He's got a good run. Down the hill we go, and then we've got a battle in the background as well. Down the hill we go, then back up again, and let's go behind. Chris has got past, so Chris has got past Silverstar. And look at these two, I mean, an absolute ding-dong. Dan's defending the inside, got Coy right behind. Coy's going to switch around to the outside. So we go into turn 1. Is he going to try and go all the way around the outside? Goes really wide. But he's... Oh, it's so close. Look at these two. The Coy's done it. He's done it. What a move that was. Let's watch that again. Down the hill he goes. Decides to go the long way round. Dan forces him to the inside. Oh. There goes Coy around the outside. They swap a little bit of paint, but that's fine. And Coy does it around the outside. What a nice move that was from Coy. Alright. Dan's not going to give up though. Right, anyone else having any battles? I think this is the closest. Let's go up in front. Mike is not giving up on Alex though. Mike's seeing a 3rd place podium here. Alex's tyres are not looking brilliant, and they can see Dan just in front as well. So Chris P has done his usual, has cleared off once he got through the field. But 2nd, 3rd and 4th aren't too far apart. Now Mike's fuel light is flashing. There's 2 more laps to go. I think that will do 2 more laps. Alex is just not looking all that rosy. Dan's is not brilliant as well. Dan's mediums are starting to go. Right, Mike looks like he's going to have a move. Is he going to shape up? Let's go on board. Alex defends the inside. Breaks out a little bit later. Gets it stopped. Mike can't quite get on the power early enough to get down the inside, and we pretty quickly go into 2, 3, 4 and 5 through this section, so it's pretty difficult to make an overtake. I think Mike's feeling quite happy though. His mediums are faring okay. So Dan's got past. Am I going to try and rewind that in the vain hope of seeing that? Oh yes, here we go. So looks like Dan, we got just a good run. Lovely run out of turn 1, and then just slings it down the inside. Coy gives him plenty of room. Look at these two, look at the respect they give each other, which is wonderful. Right, so these two continue their fight for 5th place. And all the while, Chris R is thinking, you two can keep scrapping. I want to make this a 3-car battle for 5th. Coy's still moving around, but he's trying to find a way through. There's not much going on elsewhere, so let's follow this cracking battle. Right, so Dan's now on the inside, Coy is on the outside as we go through the tunnel into the hairpin. Right, what can we do this lap? If you want one more lap after this, Chris must be eyeing this up. Let's watch him now. He's on hards actually, but his hards are in a much better condition than the guys in front. We're going to get a lap. I think most people will get a lap, maybe 10th way. Right, so Chris is lining up Coy. Looks like he's going to get him. There's Coy, we can see him, he's going to brake first. Oh, looks like it's Chris. Through he goes. He's got fresh hards versus Dan's fairly tired hards. So Chris could get himself up with a last lap ditch effort up to 5th here. Right. Oh, it always scares me, these. Oh, that looked a little bit wide as well. Have a look back at that. There's quite a few track abuses going. Right, Chris is well in front. He's just coming through the tunnel. I'm going to look at this battle. What's Mike doing? Mike's right behind Alex as well. And Dan's got a bit of a gap now. Now he's managed to shake off Coy. He's got a little bit of a gap to Chris. He's got one more corner to go. So where's Pengelly? There he comes, coming down the hill. Lovely win from Chris. Looked like he was in a little spot above after lap 1. But as usual, recovered up in his unflappable style. Takes the first win of the night. Well done, Chris. Across the line he comes. Right, let's see what's going on here. So we've got a scrap to the line. Mike's going to run out of time. I think he's looking all over left and right. Is he going to get as we go across the line? This is going to be so tight. Oh, I've got another photo finish. Oh, Alex takes it by 16,000th, and then we got coming down the hill. We're going to get the same. Can Chris get the run on Dan as we come across the line? I think he's going to run out of time. He's got a big overspeed, but it's not quite enough. Whoa, good race. Coy finishing 7th, another great race. There's Jack finishing 8th. Baz is going to finish 9th. So Pat, Superman, and Mika and Wayne finish 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Baz gets 9th. Oof, out of breath again. Right, what a first great race that was. Alright, let's bring our result. Let's save that first. Alright, Little's GP. Another win and fastest lap. Second, so great win from Chris. And second's Dan. That was a really good drive from Dan for second. 13 seconds back in the end. And third and fourth separated by, what's that, 15 thousandths of a second. Alex and Mike. Alex will be pleased with that, not feeling great on his hards. Gets a great third, gets podium. Mike gets fourth. And Big Dan beats Chris by almost a smaller margin, less than a tenth. So Dan gets 5th, Chris gets 6th, Coy gets 7th, just behind after a brilliant race for Dan. Jack is 8th, and Bazza is 9th, Pat is 10th, James is 11th, Mika 12th, and Wayne 13th. Right, that is our race for race 1. That's our race for race 1. So race 2 will be starting at, let's say, 2010, no, 2110. And this will be a reverse 8. Top 8 will be reversed, so whoever finished 8th, which will be on pole, and whoever finished first will be 8th. Alright, let's change these server settings. Right, and we will be back in approximately 5 minutes. So see you for race 2. Right, we're back. Hope you can hear me okay. Make sure that's all working. Alright, yes it is. Good, cool. Right, let's just check that the drivers are ready for the second race. A bit late tonight, but right, we have, so the top 8 are reversed. We'll quickly run down the grid. So you can see on the right hand side, the grid is Jack will be on pole, leading us away, then Coy, Chris R, Big Dan, Mike, Alex, Dan, Chris, then that's the top 8 reversed, and then we've got Mazda, Pat, James, Mika, Wayne. Right, let's get going. So you can see it's a bit darker now. We're into the night time, like deep forest. Alright. Another 30 minutes to come in the dark. Rolling start again, as it was before. So we'll start, we'll lead us away, as I love to do, change their real names and their PSN names. He will lead us into the first. Who's giving us a flash? Someone's giving us a flash. Who's that? That's Mike. Nice flash. Right. Should look really pretty in the dark. We'll see what the strategy plays out now. I hope the music's going to disappear. It's still going, which is really annoying. Jack leads us away. It's still playing, so I'm afraid apologies for that. You might be hearing the music. It's still going. Right, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of that whilst Jack leads us away. We'll try and just come out of that and go back and spectate. Hopefully that will disappear. No, it won't. Right, so unfortunately we've got the music, which is really annoying. Right, so Jack's going to lead us in. That we looked already. There was a bit of a skirmish going on. Who's going on? I don't think anything's changed. Alex was hanging out. Look at the mid packs. We got a yellow flag already. Who is that's gone round? Let's have a look. A silver star. Right, let's see what happened there. Was that just a... Did he get tagged? Did he lose it on his own? Let's have a watch. Oh yeah, he just went hot. Nothing to see there. Right, Coy is leading. Hopefully the music in the background isn't too... So Coy is leading. So what's happened there? Oh, Jack was leading, wasn't he? So Coy has jumped up to first. So Coy's had a great start. And Chris R's had an even better start. So we've had some mixing up going on there. Dan's up to third. Although Mike's just passed him as we come into... So we're going to come into the... Here we go again, 3 abreast as we go into the hairpin for the first time. So a little bumping and boring. Chris is on the inside, Mike's on the outside. Big Dan decides better of it. Nice and clean coming out. Go away music, this is really nice. As we come down the hill, Mike's on the outside, Chris is on the inside. Right, music's gone, we've gone for that. Right. Here we go. Chris is now up to third. He was 8th already, so he's gained 5 places already. He's only soft though, it's not surprising. But he's got Mike right behind, alongside him. Who's going to win the battle of the late breakers? Mike's not conceding. It looks like Dan is looking interested there. And Coy, Alex is right behind, sliding as always. Coy is out front though, but he's got Chris right on his tail. Right, let's go on board with Chris. He finished a very, very close 6th in race 1. He's not stopping. He won't be stopping in this race, whereas others will. Coy will be stopping. Coy's a stopper. So Chris is looking good already. Actually, this will not be a stop race for him. Alright, it looks like he's lost out a little bit. Coy's doing a good job with his softs as well. He's on softs, whereas Chris R's on mediums. Then we come through. Flying through to the top 7 within 4 seconds. Then we've got Pat in 9th with James, Wayne and Mika behind. Who's off the back? Jack's recovering, lost quite a lot in that spin. Let's watch this battle. Then we've got a battle of 8th. Let's concentrate. We've got Gaggle going into the hairpin as well, but let's watch Bazza. Pat's going to make a move down the inside. Is he? No, he thinks Bazza better of it. Baz is on the mediums, Pat is on the softs, getting sideways. He's got James right behind him, so let's watch these guys as we go down the hill. Who we've got behind us? We've got a bit of a gap behind, so James can concentrate on what's going on in front. All you can see is a shadow of a MX5 wing. James is going to get the run as we come down. He's now going to get a really nice toe off Bazza. Are we going to see James having a move for both of them? He's going to try it down the inside. Is he going to get both? Can he stop it? He does. Lovely move from James. Is Bazza going to come back at him though? He's thinking about it. Bazza's on the mediums. What's James on? James is on the mediums as well. Bazza's going to try. Look at it, giving each other room. Fantastic racing. Let's go on board with Pat. Or can you see the guys in front? Oh no! Oh, was that a slight lean on from Bazza? Let's go back. Did we give James a little bit of a tap as we went in? Super close. Yeah, unfortunately I think he did. Does Bazza concede that one? Not yet. See where did James? Oh, he's been knocked down. Well down. Unlucky James. Right, up the front we go. Coit. So we've got a three-way battle now for the lead. Coit has got Chris R and Little's GP right on his tail. Chris is going to try and make a move into the hairpin. Does it very nicely. Coit battles him on the way out, and then Chris Pengelly is going to get an absolute mega toe. As we come down the hill now, he's going to look to the inside. He's going to try and get a toe off Chris as we come down the hill. No, he's going to switch. There's no way through there. Is Chris going to defend the inside? Yes, he does. Chris is trying to look. There's no way down the inside, so he's going to try and go down the outside. It's hard to tell in the dark. Chris has got defended the inside though. Is he going to leave the door open? No, he doesn't for Chris. Coy goes a bit wide. That's what he can do. Can he get down the inside of... Oh, look at this. Chris goes on, gone wide. Can Coy get the lead back off Chris? No, he can't. Oh, Chris went a little bit, maybe went a little bit deep just to see what happened there. Oh, let's go the right way. So Chris goes a little bit deep just to throw. Oh, he got a bit of a tank slapper. That's why. Had to get back off the power. That let Coy and Chris back through. Cracking racing though. He won't give up. Chris P's gone in front, but he's going to have to stop. We know that Mike's in 5th now. Alex is in 6th. And they got Big Dan up in 4th now. And not far behind. It's Dan in 7th. He's on softs as well. So these guys will all be stopping. Baz is in 8th. Wayne's in 9th now on his mediums. He's got Pat right behind him. Through the tunnel we go. Looking mighty fire night. Get a bit frustrated with this game sometimes, but it does look beautiful. One of the best looking sims of the lot, I think. Right, can Pat get the move done? He does. Sorry, can Wayne get the move done on Pat? He does, but Pat's going to get a move as we come out the hairpin. Back down the cascade we go into the kinks of apparently 15, 16, 17 and 18, but really it's just 2 turns. Back on board now with Wayne. Let's see if Wayne makes a move, and then we'll go back to the front and see what's going on, because I think they're super close. They're all in the line by the looks of it. I don't think Wayne's going to do anything there. Nope, right. So Chris P leads. He's got Coy in 2nd. Not being dropped. Coy's having a good night tonight. And he's got Chris R right behind. Dan, there's the Dan we know and love. Getting his sideways. And then we've got Mike is under attack from Dan. Let's see what Dan can see from his car. 5 seconds covers the top 7 after on the 5th lap. It's that tight. Someone that was just pulled over there. That must have been optical illusion. Down, cheeky downshift. So Chris is getting away a little bit, but these 2nd to 6th is super close. Coy's got only 4/10 off Chris. Chris has got a little bit of a gap now to Big Dan. Can Chris make a move? He's on mediums. You want to try and keep Chris Pengelly inside of the pit stop. So what do we think? That was about 25 seconds. Oh, Coy goes a bit deep. That's going to give Chris a good run. Let's see what else is going on. We've got Dan's right behind Mike. Right, let's concentrate on this battle for 2nd though. Coy got a good run back though. He was a bit wide, but he's got a good run. But Chris is going to try and line him up on the inside. As we go down the hill into turn 1. We're past, we're through. But will Coy retaliate? He's on the inside. Yes, he does. Back he goes through and then does a nice job again, getting on the brakes for the apex, preventing the cutback, and that's giving Dan the opportunity now. And all he can see is the bumblebee in the shadow. These races kill my voice. There's so much to talk about. Alright, through the infield we go. Let's see what's going on. So Alex is now attacking on the back of that. These two have been dropped a little bit. We're now 3 seconds off. Mike's softs starting to wilt a bit maybe. That's down. Dan's on softs as well. I would have thought with his cooler temperatures, these softs might be a better choice at this stage, but let's see. Chris is out. He's out by 3.6. But Chris is going to have to stop. We know that. Coy is on softs. He's also going to have to stop, but then he's got Chris R, who's on mediums. So is Big Dan. And so is Alex. So I would say these three are currently fighting for the lead. Into the hairpin we go. For the 6th time. Keeping it super tight. Chris Pengelly has got to hope. He's got to try and get, well, over the course of the race, he's got to try and get 25 seconds. Can he do that? Softs and hards. Chris now has got a really good run on Coy again. Coy's defending beautifully tonight. So, here we go, part 2. Down the hill we go. Can Chris get the braking done this time? He is. We got no one behind us. Oh, that was a slight little tap. But Chris is away. Into second now. 4 seconds behind him. Look at how close these ones are. Look at Mike's dropped off a bit, but Alex is right on the tail. So hopefully this is making him feel a bit better. He's racing, feeling a bit sick. Certainly doing a good job here. Is he going to look down the inside? No, but look at these four. So close. The Coy is not giving up on that second place. He's got the softs on, which arguably in this car is not the better tyre, but we heard in the break that some of the drivers were saying because of the cold temperatures, the softs are actually better than they were. And look, we got 4 of them in a row now. Coy is not going to give up on second. We've got Dan and then we've got Alex. Let's see what we've got. So then we've got Mike and Dan fighting it out. And a bit further back, Bazza's got a second on Pat. But let's have a look at this battle for the second. Chris has got it. Dan's going to make a move on Coy. Is he into the hairpin? Let's have a look. Oh, Coy's going to try and get around the outside of Chris. Look at this. It's fantastic racing. Down the hill we go. Who should we watch from? Should we watch from Alex's point of view? I wonder where he's making of all this. You can see this train of cars coming down the hill. We're going to have 3 abreast. We're going to have 3 abreast as we come into the hairpin. Look at this. I love it. Right, Coy's got it. He's got a clean car length again, but Chris dives into the first corner. Is he going to make it stick? Coy's trying to go around. So Coy has done the outside move. Look at that. He hung around the outside. He's back in the second. Alex is attacking Dan. Looks like Alex has got that done, has he? I think he has. Well, nice move from. Let's go back to that and let's see if we can catch what happened there. Oh, I think we just missed it. Just got it moved down the inside and it resolved itself pretty much. Still went into turn 2. Alex gives Dan room and then has the inside for the left-hander. Very nicely done. Right, 3-play function works well. Right, so we've still got this battle. Well, of course, this is helping. It's Chris Pengelly now. He's going to be coming in probably in 2 or 3 laps. He's now 7 seconds up. Chris R and Chris and Alex and Big Dan are probably thinking we could do without us squabbling over 2nd, 3rd and 4th and 5th, because this is letting Chris get a bit of a gap. Right, Coy, we went deep. Alex went deep. That's allowed Coy to get back again. That looked very deep because he was like coming from miles behind there. So let's see what happened there. Oh, I've gone too far back. Oh yeah. Sometimes the replays are rubbish. I've got to wait to come back. Right. Let's see what's going on. Zakoy is now in second place as we come down the hill. Now 7.3 behind the leader. And it looks like Alex is going to send one on the inside. He is. Is he going to make it? Is he going to get that stopped? He does. He does. What can Chris R do? Coy and Alex are now alongside each other in the very similar livery cars. Oh, be careful, boys. We're now twitching these cars off if you give it a nudge. Looks like Coy just about hangs on to it. That gives Chris R the chance to come back. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Well, that's allowed Alex to get away a bit. Where is Coy? Coy's gone from behind. So Coy, just a little bit of a nudge there. Let's go back a bit, see if we can catch what happened there. Let's see. No, it's down the hill. It's gone too far back. Actually, no, it was about to go catch it. But anyway, right, so net of that is Alex is now in second. He's 8 seconds off the lead. He's got a bit of a gap now to Chris Rains, who's now got Big Dan right behind him. And then Coy, I can probably hear him swearing already. Logic is, what's happened to Mike? Mike has stopped. So Mike has put his hards on. So Mike's dropped down to 12, but he's put his hards on. You see, we're just under halfway, and he's got over half a, well, over quarter of a tank left, which is over half of what he started with. Right, Chris, we haven't seen him much. He's been steadily putting the laps in. Coy has now gone into the pit, so he's the first of the softs to stop. Great rear guard action from him to cracking racing. Alex is in second, so he won't be stopping. And he's got to hope that he can hang on to those mediums. He's currently 8 seconds behind, and we reckon the stop is roughly about 25. So can he keep Chris Pengelly in sight enough to be our net leader? I think these are 2, 3 and 4. Alex, Chris and Dan, I think they will be battling for the lead when it all shakes out. Dan's not far behind, but he's on the softs. There's Bazza. So Bazza's up to 6th. We'll have a little, probably, will there be a stewards over his clash with James? We'll see. But he's up to 6th. Well, he's on medium, so he won't be stopping. Pat is 7th. So let's go run down the field because we concentrate so much on that battle for second. Pat's up to 7th now. He won't be stopping on his mediums. Wayne is up to 8th, bedding himself in as he likes to do. He's on his mediums in 8th, so he won't be stopping. Mika is in 9th on her mediums after that mega drive at Watkins Glen. James is on his mediums, he won't be stopping. He's just on his PB with 38.7, which is almost a second faster than Mika in front, so he's catching right. Chris has decided to pull the pin, 8.2 ahead, so he didn't actually gain. In fact, that lap he probably was either equal lap time or lost a little bit. So now these 3 have broken clear of the squabbling with Coy. They're now net lead. Right, right. Here's Chris in the pits, changing his tyres. It's pretty much bang on fuel. So he's dropped down to, there's Mika. Chris has dropped down to 7th. 15 seconds off the lead on hard. So theoretically he's on the slower tyres than the guys in front. So we'll keep an eye on that gap. That gap currently is 14.5 seconds. So remember that. We'll keep an eye on that. Now I would ordinarily say that's 14 seconds in probably 8 laps. Will be a tall order in for Chris. But we've got these top 3 are squabbling over the win and they're going to slow each other down. So let's not rule that out at all. Right, Baz is in 4th, a net 4th now. Pat's in net 5th, Wayne's in net 6th. And then we've got Chris in a net 7th, Mika in 8th, Superman 9th. Dan back out on his hards in 10th. He's behind, got Coy on hards and Mike on hards. So these guys are now battling over 10th. And this is what I inadvertently love about these 30-minute races, is it's really mixing up the order. Right, Alex is in. Alex is in. Is he splashing, dashing? I'm amazed by that. Okay. Does he think he needs fuel? He had hard. No, he had hards, didn't he? Yeah, he didn't stop. Of course. That's me thinking he stopped in the first round. He didn't. So Chris actually, Chris is sitting pretty here because he stopped in the first round. Of course, him and Pat were the only two that stopped. So Chris is now in the net lead, and Dan is gonna be around the Mike-ish. So this is going to really shake things up here, because Bazza's in the third, but there's me wittering on the back net. He's not. Pat is actually now in a net, effectively second place, because he stopped. He doesn't have to change his tyres. Right, let's see what Little's GP is doing. He's got that lead down to 13.8. So that's a straight race. Can he take best part of 14 seconds out of Chris R in roughly 6 laps? It's going to be tight. Right, Dan is in second, but we know he has to stop. Bazza has to stop. Pat doesn't. Wayne does. Or does he? Wayne doesn't have to stop. He's looking pretty good as well. Didn't stop. Oh, Pat gets really wide. Come out the hairpin. Let's see what Wayne can do as we go down the hill. Let's go from the back of the MX5, looking backwards on Pat's car. We can see Chris Pengelly in the background. Is Wayne going to throw it down the inside? Mr. Crispy. Oh, let's see. I thought I was going to give him a bump draft there. Not yet, not yet. Vika's in. Pitting out of 8th. Where's that going to bring her out? So Wayne's in as well. Alex is now stopped. He's on softs. He's on softs and he's 10 seconds behind Chris. And in theory, he's on the quicker tyre, much quicker tyre. And in theory, you think he could actually potentially close that gap, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Dan's out in 7th, so he's got the better. 8th, sorry, he's got the better of Coy. Dan, Coy, and Michael came out together, so they're battling now over 9th. Let's see what's going up front. Chris is 1.3 up. He's got Dan behind him, but Dan, I'm pretty certain, I need to write this down. There's always so much action, I'll never get a chance. Dan is in 2nd, but I'm pretty certain he has to stop, so does Bazza. So Pat has now got Chris right behind him, who's got Wayne right behind him. Chris has dispatched Wayne. Let's see what he can do with Pat. Pat's on pretty warm mediums, whereas Chris is on fresh hards. Pat's not going to make it easy though. Is he going to get stopped in time for the apex? He does, and covers it off nicely. But it looks like Chris is still going to get the run. But he's not done yet. Pat can tuck in. Chris was going to hit the pit wall for a second. Can Pat throw one down the inside? Or can Wayne chuck one down the inside, get them both? Come on, Wayne, be a hero. He's going to try for Pat at the very least. Oh, this is going to be tight. Is he going to get? They all managed to get into turn 1 together. Do they all get out? They do. Look at that. Nice racing. Right, Bazza's in. Dan is out in 6th. Where's Logic? There he is. So Dan's out in the net 6th. Alex is in 5th. So Alex has done the undercut. He was battling with Dan, and he's now 4.3 up, both on softs. Now I guess the question is, how long will those softs last? Dan's come out in 7th, so Little's GP is 14 seconds off the lead. No, he was 14 seconds I think when we stopped, so he's actually not catching Chris R up at all. But he won the first race, and he's gone a little bit wide again. Well, we're going to have a bit of a check for track limits, I think. Right, what can Wayne and Pat do? Is Wayne going to stop? I can't remember. I think he might have done, you know, because he was, what, 12th in race 1? I have a feeling this is the battle for the podium. Right, can Wayne throw one down the inside? He does. Is he going to get that stopped? He almost does, but Pat does a nice undercut. We won't worry about track limits too much there, because I think that was slightly assisted, but Pat gets him back. A nice racing between these two. And behind us all the while, we've got Alex closing at a rate of knots on his fresh softs. He's only 8.4 behind, and I reckon we've got 4 laps to go. Right, where's Pat gone? There he is. There's the M&Ms of Wayne. Oh, Wayne does a nice job. Wayne's good on the brakes. Gets it stopped nicely. Covers the apex up to 3rd. Is he stopping? We don't know. Alex has just done a 39.9, so he did a 37.1. Finally these softs a bit bearable by the looks of it, because Dan pulled 1.3 on him that lap, on his out lap. Dan's only 1.8 behind. Pat's got back. Snake the flick there. Let's see what happened there. Or did Wayne go a bit deep, or did Pat? Oh no, nice move, Pat. Just got a better run. Coming out of turn 4 into turn 5, through he goes. Very nice. Alright, Wayne's not giving that one up though. Alex is 6.5 behind now. He's so close, and he's actually dropped down a little bit out of the toe. So what could Wayne do? I think these two, might be fine for a net 3rd. This is a podium battle. Into the hairpin we go. Wayne biding his time. I think, right, I'm just going to sit behind this time. Sit in the toe. As we come down the hill, Alex is catching us quickly though. Looking at lap times, but I reckon he's taken 2, maybe more seconds out of us on this lap. Alright, here we go. Oh, we're getting squeezed in the pit wall, but that's not going to deter Wayne. As we come down the front straight. Oh, but Pat's really late on the brakes, tries to go around the outside. Still going though. Wayne's got the inside for turn 2 though, but then he quickly goes into turn 3. So if he can hang it out like Pat's doing, Wayne will give him room. Oh, Wayne gets it done. Lovely racing between these two, but if we look at the lap time, Alex has done this PB of a 37.0, which is only 2/10 off fastest. Okay, he's still that point away from Chris. And these guys did 39.6. He's 2.7 seconds faster, and so he's going to catch him at the end. He's going to catch him. How's Dan doing behind? So Alex should race it all more often. It's flying. Right, go down the field a bit. Logic's in, Dan's in 7th. He's managed to clear Bazza, who's in 8th. So a good result actually. 37.6 from Bazza, 38.8. So Bazza's catching Dan, who's on hards. And he's got lots of fuel. He's saved the fuel again, but he's catching him quickly by over a second a lap. Koi Calm has got Mike right behind him, so a good battle between these two going on. Keep an eye on 3rd. So maybe there's a bit of a gap now forming. Right, so what can Mike do? He's right on the tail of Koi. There he goes, he's gone past, but is Koi going to try and throw one down the inside? Yes, he does. Mike hangs it in there though. Koi's done a very good job of defending that inside line tonight. James is 4.6 behind us, so don't have to worry about those two. Right, I think should be 2 laps to go for these two. Might be 3 for the leaders. Oh, we got a nice run. A lovely run. Hopefully my audio isn't cutting up too much. Oh, that's good from Koi. Can we get it stopped? Yes, we can. Oh, gives it a slide as well. That was nice as well. I'm going to rewind that. Lovely. Some lovely racing tonight. Look at this. So Mike's got the inside. Thinks I've got this one done. Then Koi switches back, dives down the inside, gives us a little drift, and away he goes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, up the front. We've not been on him much, but Chris R is 12 seconds up, so Chris has not managed to pull much into Chris's lead as you would kind of expect. Oh, what's that? It's Jack. I think almost causing Chris some palpitations. Where's Jack? I haven't seen him much tonight. Oh, I think he's decided to pull over. He has. He's damaged the car, so I think he's probably thinking that's probably me done for the night. Right, so Chris is leading. Probably 2 more laps to go. Wayne has now managed to shake Pat off, much to his relief. Well, his fuel is looking a bit alarming. He's got 2 more laps to go. Just 2 more laps to go. Pat's is also looking quite low. Alex is battling with Dan, so Dan has caught Alex up. Alex has done all 39.7. Dan did a 37.2, so another probably slight sketchy lap. Dan might be sensing a 3rd here. So what I'm talking about, Dan is through. There's me staring into space. Dan is through, so I wonder if Alex made a little mistake or his tyres are starting to go. He did stop pretty early, we noticed, didn't we, Alex? So I think his tyres are starting to go. Dan's are looking pretty good. And we're going to have 1 more lap to go. Dan's fuel, he's obviously put a bit of fuel in so he can maintain the pace and stay flat. Wayne and Pat. Wayne, I think, will be okay. Where's Chris going? So he's going to get another lap in. Where did he finish in the first race? I think he was 5th, wasn't he? So he's having a good night tonight. Yeah, he was 5th. No, 6th, sorry. First race. So he's having a good night. Chris is in 2nd. Then we got Wayne in 3rd, who looks like if he's got the fuel, hopefully he's worked that out, that he's going to get 19 laps, an extra lap. Obviously the first race we had a safety car. Pat is running on fumes. He's got a very healthy, fueled and tired Big Dan behind him. Is Dan going to... Oh, they finished! Oh, they finished by nanoseconds. Dan got the fastest lap of the last lap. That's let... Oh, that's let Pat into 4th. Doesn't matter what happens. So Dan finishes 5th, Alex 6th, Bazza 7th, Dan gets 8th. Koya's going to come across the line. No, he's going to win this drag race. God, Mike does 100. Oh, Superman gets 11th. Mika comes across in 12th, and Jack's going to get 13th. So Wayne is going to get... Is he going to get a podium? I can't believe that. That was incredible. I think Dan was lucky. If he got across the line probably by, I don't know, half a second, he was maybe looking on a 3rd, certainly a 4th. As it is, Chris R is going to take... Oh, Chris is out of fuel. Chris is out of fuel. Chris Pengelly is out of fuel. I don't believe it. He's run out of fuel. So Chris R is going to take 1st. Played that beautifully. 19 laps, the extra lap because of the safety car. Over he comes. Great win from Chris R. Beautiful. Wayne is going to come across 2nd. Is he going to get to the line? I think he is. He's got more fuel than Pat. Pat's going to run out maybe as well. Wayne gets 2nd. Look at that. He finished 13th, doing his usual. First race is practice. Wow, what a 2nd place from Wayne. And what a 3rd from Pat. Comes across the line on fumes. Chris, so lucky Chris was that Dan and Alex didn't make that last lap, because look at the fuel those two had. Dan particularly, he had tons of fuel. Chris gets across the line. He's going to cruise across in 4th, but he's super lucky, really. Wow, what an end to the race that was. So let's just save the replay of that. Chris R gets another win. I'll have to start totting up the number of wins. Pat, do me some wins, please. So I've got that record as well. Chris gets another win then. Takes it comfortably in the end by 22 seconds from Wayne, who came out of nowhere to get 2nd after finishing 13th in race 1. So he was 13th on the grid, gets 2nd place. Pat, who was 10th on the grid, gets a mega 3rd. So what a podium there. This was GP, gets 4th after running out of fuel. Dan gets 5th after getting fastest lap on the last lap, his last lap, 36.7 as well. Wow. If that had been a fraction, if he'd been a 136.6, he would have probably got 3rd and maybe even 2nd. Alice gets a great 6th though. He wasn't feeling great tonight. 7th is Bazza, 8th is Dan, 9th is Mike, 10th is Coy, 11th is James, 12th is Miko, and 13th is Silver Star. Right, that was it, round 4. Another cracker. These 30-minute races are absolutely brilliant. It's the second one we've done, and they've both been epic. Maybe that's what we do going forward. Right, well done everyone. That was some super racing. Hope you enjoyed that in YouTube land. We'll be back next week for our second, I believe, sprint round, which I will double check, but I think it's sprints, 3 15-minute races at Interlagos, which is going to be fun, because it always is at Interlagos. Yes, it is. Right, hope you enjoyed round 4. We will see you same time next week. Thank you for watching. Take care and see you next week.